Hey, what's up everyone? You're here with Goran from Pick Dawgz, and you are here for your free picks from some of the Scandinavian leagues in Europe. And this time we have the Eliteserien from Norway, and we have a couple of games in Allsvenskan in Sweden as well. That's all happening on Sunday, July 2nd, guys. If you want more free picks, we do have a couple more videos up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. We have that one MLS game on Sunday, and we have a couple of games in the Liga MX in Mexico. If you want my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my Pick Dawgz website page where you can sign up. That's it, guys. Like I said, we have 6 games in the Norwegian Eliteserien, and we have 3 games in the Swedish Allsvenskan League on Sunday. And let's fly through these guys. The first game we have is between Ålesund and Rosenborg in Norway. And we have Ålesund, who is by far the worst team in the league. They have been conceding a ton of goals as of late over the last few weeks, whether they play at home or on the road. And overall this season, they have scored only 7 goals in 11 games and conceded 23 goals in 11 games, which is an average over two conceded goals per game. As far as Rosenborg goes, overall, they haven't been that great, and especially on the road where they are still without a single win this season. They have 3 draws and 2 losses, 6 scored goals in 5 games, and 9 conceded goals. But despite that fact, I think that Rosenborg is the better team here, and I think that they will score at least a couple of goals here. So I'm gonna go with the Rosenborg team total over 1.5 plus 108. I think that's definitely a great price, seeing how Alisson's averages over 2 conceded goals per game. In the next game, guys, we have Haugesund hosting Odds BK, and this is gonna be an interesting game because we have 2 teams in a pretty similar form right now. And when Haugesund was the home team in this matchup, both teams to score at over 2.5 has hit quite often, more often than not, that is. And with both teams being in such a good form right now, both teams scoring a decent amount of goals, I think this is going to be a fun game, and I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one. It's minus 143. I'm not going to try to push it into over 2.5 because minus 143 has been decent, and I know that sometimes strange things happen in Norway, and I'm just trying to be a little bit cautious. So, Haugesund against Odds BK, I'm going to go with both teams to score. Lillestrøm is hosting Tromsø, and this is going to be a highly competitive match in my opinion because we have 2 teams in a great form, 2 teams that haven't won their last games, but Tromsø is still undefeated on the road this season, while Lillestrøm at home has been pretty solid, and they have scored 11 goals in 5 games at home, but they have also conceded a lot of goals. They are averaging almost 2 conceded goals per game at home. Tromsø on the road has scored 8 goals in 5 games. Like I said, still undefeated on the road, in a very, very good form right now. And that's what's going to make this game highly entertaining. And I think it's going to be quite exciting. So I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one as well. It's minus 118 for some reason. But I think that if you want to go for plus money and add over 2.5 in this game, I would not blame you. But personally, I will be sticking with both teams to score. Brann is hosting HamKam in the next matchup, and HamKam is definitely one of the weakest teams in the league. They are in 15th place. However, they have been doing a decent job as of late when it comes to scoring goals. And yes, they have been a bit inconsistent, and it's not going to be an easy thing to play against Brann, who's still undefeated at home, while HamKam has lost all 5 games on the road so far this season. But they have been pretty consistent when it comes to scoring goals in this matchup. So I do believe that Brann will win this game. However, we can see that they are pretty heavy favorites, which means we have to dig deep for some value. And for that reason, I'm going to take Brann to win and both teams to score. That will give us plus 155 price. And let's just hope that HamKam can give us that one goal, even though their form on the road has been pretty bad so far this season. Sarpsborg is hosting Sandefjord in the next matchup in Norway, and they are also pretty heavy favorites, minus 245, which I understand because they are actually on a 2-game winning streak right now, and Sandefjord on the other side is still without a win on the road. They haven't won any of their last 20 games on the road. That's a pretty steep streak, guys, and I simply don't see it happening that they get a win here, or at least a positive result for that matter. When playing at home, Sarpsborg hasn't lost to Sandefjord in their last 8 games, and Sandefjord on the road so far this season has scored only 3 goals in 6 games, and they are averaging 2 conceded goals per game on the road. Like I said, horrible form. They are on a very bad streak when it comes to playing on the road. And for that reason, guys, I'm taking Sarpsborg to win and over 2.5 goals, which is minus 117 at the moment. The last game in Norway that we have is a big derby game between Bodo Glimt and Molde. And honestly, we had Bodo Glimt last week to win, and they ended up embarrassing themselves by losing to Strømsgodset 2-0 on the road. But they did bounce back against Tromsø in the Norwegian Cup earlier this week, a game which they won 3-2. We can see that defensively Bodo Glimt is not a good team, and they actually haven't beaten Molde at home in their last 3 games. And on top of that, Molde has been playing really well. They have lost only 1 of their last 6 games, won the other 5, and they have been quite successful in this matchup. As a matter of fact, they have won majority of the games against Bodo Glimt. Whether that happens at home or on the road, it doesn't seem to matter that much to Molde. Bodo Glimt still undefeated at home this season, 5 wins, 1 draw. They haven't lost any of their last 9 home games in a row, and they are actually on a 5-game winning streak at home. Now, can Bodo Glimt win this game? I think they could, but honestly, with the way Molde has been playing as of late, I think the goals are the way to go in this one, and I'm going to go with over 1.5 goals in the first half. It's plus 116. I wouldn't blame you if you take both teams to score an over 2.5, simply because I think it's going to hit. Maybe even take both teams to score an over 3.5 and get nice plus money for it, but I also see at least 2 goals in the first half, and that's going to be my pick for this game. Now we are moving on to Sweden, guys, and we have Halmstad playing against Göteborg, and Göteborg has been pretty bad on the road this season, and the way that's gonna change is if they score a goal, or at least 2 in this game, which I think is gonna happen. They were on a bit of a break, and maybe they got their heads together. They will try to bounce back, end that bad streak on the road they have. They're still without a single win on the road. And on top of that, Halmstad has played 2 friendly games over the last couple of weeks, and they lost both of those games, and they have conceded 5 goals in those 2 games. So, in my mind, I think that both teams to score at minus 117 is the way to go in this game, and that's gonna be my pick for this match in Sweden. For our next pick, guys, we have Norrköping playing against Häcken, and I think that Häcken actually deserves to be the bigger favorites than they are against Norrköping, who hasn't won any of their last 5 games, and they are actually on a 3-game losing streak at home. Now, like I said, these teams were in a bit of a break as of late, and maybe that has gotten their heads kind of together. Maybe they will bounce back in this game or not. But if I have to pick the team on the road to win, I will try to get the most out of it. And for that reason, I decided to add over 2.5 goals as well in this game. So my pick for this one between Norrköping and Häcken is Häcken to win and over 2.5 goals at plus 130. And the last pick of this video, guys, is also in Sweden. We have Djurgårdens playing against Varbergs, and as we can see, Djurgårdens is a massive favorite here, minus 590. And how wouldn't they be, because Varbergs hasn't won any of their last 14 games. They are at the bottom of the table in Sweden. They have only 5 points. They haven't scored a lot of goals this season. They have only 8 goals in 12 games. They have conceded 24, which is an average of 2 conceded goals per game. And on the road, they are also averaging 2 conceded goals per game. Djurgårdens on the other side, offensively, a decent job, 19 scored goals in 13 games, but their defense has been pretty solid with only 17 conceded goals, and they're still undefeated at home this season. So, in this game, guys, we have to go with the Djurgårdens, and we have to add some goals to it as well, even though that's not my official pick here. I do believe Djurgården is going to win, and we're going to see some goals in this one, and for that reason, I'm going to take Djurgården to score in both halves. Plus 132. If you do not have this market, like I said, take Djurgårdens to win and over 2.5 goals, or even their team total over 2.5 goals, which is a nice plus money. So Djurgårdens to score in both halves at minus 132. Sorry. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Norwegian Eliteserien and Swedish Allsvenskan for Sunday. Thank you for joining me here. Have a great Sunday, guys. Good luck with your bets, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.